Okay, good morning. I'm coming to you from a short distance from where I was at the last live video, and I just want to show you something that we have just come across. This is one of the creeks. I'm standing on a bridge of one of the creeks that's in this area. Okay, we're going to show you this. This is a creek bed, and these are cars that were sent into this creek as a result of the flooding in Maysville. We've been talking about it all morning. There was very serious flooding in Maysville overnight as a result of a flash flood. And now you're looking live at some of the cars that are in the creek as a result of this flooding. We just now came on this. Okay, here's Chris, the photographer for Fox 19. He's getting video. It's a breaking news situation, and these are some of the residents. Okay, guys, what happened? I mean, do you guys live in this area?
We live up on Central Avenue, and she lives in Ohio, Cincinnati. She lives in Maysville.
This is crazy to see this.
Yeah, well, it is. It got up on Central Avenue too. It got up in It got in my daughter's car and everything.
Did you have damage at your home?
Not yet.
Pretty scary stuff, huh?
Yeah, it was scary.
Okay, we're looking at these cars again. This is what? Do y'all know what creek this is? Do you know the name of this creek? Okay, this is just the creek.
I live in Cincinnati, but this is my hometown. And anyway, I stayed with my mom last night over on Central Avenue. It's like I had to move my car because I have water about this much in my floorboard.
You had that much water in your floorboard?
Yeah. My mom's neighbor across the street actually pulled my car down. I'm getting ready to go car wash and back and clean it out. I still got a little bit of water.
It's that bad?
Yeah,
wow.
It was that bad. I mean, water. Kids was out there last night playing in water. You wouldn't believe it.
I'm sorry, what street is this?
This is Lexington Street.
Okay, so this is the creek underneath Lexington Street. Okay, so this is the creek underneath Lexington Street, just right outside the main city limits of Maysville. And again, I mean, these cars should not be here. This is a creek. It should just be a regular creek, but you can see how swollen it is right now. And you can see these cars and this debris that got washed away and washed down in here. Okay, I want to just show you over here. We're going to take another look. I'm just walking across the road. Okay, this is some other debris, trees and things. And there you go, another car right here.
If you want to take another picture, we got a car over here in the woods.
Yes, sir.
There's a car in the woods. Okay, we're just kind of finding all this out right now. It's just all starting to sort of come to light what exactly we're dealing with here. There's a car in the woods right over there. Okay, it's kind of hard to see in the live video, but it's just right across, just kind of right there in the middle. Okay, this should not be like this at all. There's all kinds of debris and stuff that came out of this warehouse right here. There's a warehouse.
It tore it up.
This warehouse, a flash flooding came through this warehouse, and then look at this. I mean, this is just phenomenal. This is crazy to see, and this gives you an idea of how severe this flash flooding was in the Maysville area last night. Again, boom, there you see it. So we're on Fox 19 right now. We're doing our live show from 8 to 10 a.m. So we're gonna have more. But wow, and these residents are just kind of coming over and they're just checking this out. They're just figuring out what happened. There are people who live up along this road and in this neighborhood, and these folks are just sort of realizing all the damage that was done as a result of this flash flood. Okay, here we are again. Here we are again. So if you're just now taking a look here, this is the flash flooding that was in Maysville, Kentucky overnight. Very severe storms came through, and then the creeks and things around here just swelled up. Still running pretty hard. I'm standing on a bridge over the creek, and even this bridge has some damage where some of the asphalt and things were washed away. Just want you guys who have tuned in to take a look at this and kind of get an idea. I've counted 5 cars, maybe 6 cars. If you count that trailer hitch, maybe that's a car too. And then I think there's one over that way. So we've got about maybe 6 or 7 cars in this creek. You know, the mayor said this has just been so much worse than he thought it was going to be. They thought that you know, nobody was hurt that they know about, which is the good thing. But as far as the actual damage, this is just so much more than they expected and so much more than they realized. So the cars, people are asking where the cars come from. They came from this area, all around this area. There's a auto salvage yard that's nearby, and some of these are cars that are just people's vehicles, like, you know, just in the neighborhood from the flooding, and they got washed into the creek. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, people saying this is the worst storm they've ever seen as far as flooding goes, as far as flash flooding goes. Okay, there's Chris. He's getting ready to do us live at the top of the 9, and we'll have more on Fox 19. Okay, trees. Just gonna take another look here. I mean, it's just a lot to take in when you realize this shouldn't be this way at all. This whole side of the creek, was washed out. I mean, just totally washed out, washed down.
I drove home through it last night. It was the worst storm I ever seen from Augusta-Minerva.
You said it was the worst storm you ever saw?
Yeah.
What'd you see? What happened?
It was just, the torrential downpours were just horrible. The lightning strikes seemed like they were striking on both sides of the road. Cars were pulled over. You couldn't hardly see. Driving back, it was like a 35 to 40 mile an hour drive. And then I got here, and this is what I got home to.
Is this your neighborhood?
Yes, it is.
And is these any of your cars or any?
No, they're from a car lot up the
They're from the car lot, the salvage yard?
Washed down,
yeah. Wow, this is hard to take in, isn't it? This is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, yes. Like I said, it's one of the worst storms I've ever seen without having a tornado or anything else attached to it. I can't imagine how much water would have come down. The other car lot up the road there had cars washed down the...
We were just up that way. Yeah, we were up that way earlier. Looks like that's almost totally damaged.
If I'd have known it was actually this bad, what I was driving through, I would have turned around and went back to where I was. Absolutely.
Wow. I mean, it's unbelievable nobody got hurt.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So again, I'm Sarah Selly, and I'm just giving you kind of a live look as the residents of Maysville sort of realize what exactly they're dealing with. So much bad damage from this flash flood. And okay, we're gonna just stay on top of this. We'll bring you more in the 9 o'clock hour on Fox 19. So please do tune in there, and also tune into FOX19NOW.com. Have a great day, guys.
We are specifically seeing some flash flooding happening in the Maysville area. Sarah Selly is live there right now with the latest on that. What can you tell us?
Good morning. The city of Maysville waking up to some pretty big damage after some overnight flooding here in the city and also through Mason County. What you're taking a look at here is Thomas Auto Salvage and Sales, and you can see several of these cars were flooded, a whole lot of mud, a whole lot of damage this morning for this local business. It's one of several that were impacted by this flash flooding. Let's bring in the mayor of Maysville, David Cartmell. Tell me a little bit more about kind of what Mason County and the city are experiencing right now.
Well, I mean, you're seeing what is typical of the damage here. Out the road here at the Mason County Road Department, several of their vehicles were swept away much in the same fashion as here. Now, there's probably 20 cars that you don't see here that have been moved across the highway. We hired several wreckers, and then between 1 and 4 o'clock this morning, they dragged the cars over across the street to get them out of the way. They were piled up here like kindling. So, I mean, this is typical of the wreckage around here.
Kind of give me an idea. Last night there was some pretty devastating flooding that came through here. Tell me sort of in a nutshell what happened.
Well, I mean, the whole east end of the town was basically flooded, and that was the majority of our work is cleaning up muck, just mud and rocks and trees off the hills. This was such a violent episode. We really haven't had anything like this. About 10 years ago, basically here at this choke point where these creeks come together, maybe 10 years ago we had an episode where we lost 4 units of public housing. But this is I mean, I've been mayor for nearly 20 years, and this is the largest in-town flood that we have had.
Tell me a little bit about where the flooding came off of. Is it mainly from the creeks and things like that are around here, or is it from the river itself?
No, it's creek. It's all creek-borne. We have several creeks come together here. I mean, right where we are, and then at the other end of town, of course, where there was also a big washout. Now, there was one home that was completely washed off its foundation out into Kentucky 11. So, I mean, there's a lot of flooding around here. And
with flash flooding, there's just no way to prepare for something like this.
Absolutely not. We have, you know, as I said, this has only happened once that I know of in my lifetime, and that was due to a major culvert being stopped up, and I'm certain that that's what's happened here. But it's happened everywhere. It's choked up with automobiles up on the other end of town, where they were just swept off the road.
Now, you did say that the county has declared a state of emergency,
yes.
But nobody was actually hurt. No one was really seriously hurt in all this.
Not to my knowledge. No, I did see an ambulance running last night, but I mean that's typical, you know, of you know, the regular routes that they have to do here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mayor.
Right.
We appreciate it.
Thank
okay.
you.
And as you heard, some pretty serious cleanup this morning. This is just one example, probably the best example, he says, of sort of the muck and the mud that is left from some of this pretty serious creek-borne flooding. This was, again, a flash flood that came up as a result of the heavy rains that happened overnight here in Mason County. Back to you, Jessica.
All right, Sarah, thank you. Behind her